Alright, so today, what am I going to explain? I am going to explain a few things. Starting with my system. And I'm going to touch on drones and key info for play calling. That's what I'm going to touch on. Then I'm going to touch on basic adaptations, basic adaptations, and then I'm going to touch on niche strats to avoid the setup. Alright, so let me play Thatcher. First thing I'm going to explain, it's very simple. In this game, in a T3-ish level, the biggest mistake, at least when I used to play, is teams suck at droning. Teams will not allot enough time to practicing where they put their drones, how they use them, the timing for them, so they end up late round with not the info they need, and they're trying to make something work, and it only happens because of gun skill. Now, when you're playing against a good team, this doesn't work. You can't rely on it. It's inconsistent. That's what makes a good team, not a great team. So, think of it like this. The defense is a keyhole. You, as the attack, have a limited amount of time to create a key that somewhat fits the keyhole enough to win. Now you have limited time to do so. And how do you make a key that fits? You need information on what the defense looks like. So, I'll give you an example. Let's say the defense is top floor. And let me get in here. Let's say the defense is top floor. They're doing a piano hold with a guy playing bathroom, a guy playing bitch corner. They have a guy below to see for you and you're taking it. And they have, let's say, one guy in sight on cams. And let's say another guy in sight. Alright. So, let's say your IGL doesn't have the information he needs. He won't know exactly where everyone is. And most importantly, he won't know where the utility is. So he won't know how many ADSs or my magnets they have in here. So you guys won't know the tools you need to do a piano take. So if you guys call a piano take, but you only have 3 flashes and no Thatcher, you won't be able to clear everything, and you're going to end up wasting a bunch of time trying to clear something that you can't, and you might lose lives in the process. Then that's going to leave you with, at best, maybe like a 3v3 or 4v4 with like a minute or less left, and you don't have piano control, or maybe you just got it. It's going to be hard to clear, right? But if you can use your drones properly and find out the key info, then you can make it clear. So what I like to do, if Thatcher's not banned on KAFE, is I like to be the Thatcher and I'll drone my team in. So what I'll do is I'll have drones. I will have drones in. I can't even open the hatch, bro. I should have played breaches. So let's say we're doing a piano take. Piano take, I like to ban Nomad because I like to run out on people, so these guys can run out on us. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we have 2 drones below. The whole round, I want 2 drones hidden below where people don't look. Let's say right there for this window, and let's say we'll have one on top of this for this window. Now, I'm going to be sitting on Rufus Thatcher this whole round, droning my team in and using my Thatcher grenades. So this whole time, it's my job to be flipping through cams and making sure that my team isn't getting run out on. Because what my team is going to be doing is they're going to be on windows here. So if there's a guy playing in piano, there's going to be a guy on the south window, and there's going to be a guy in this window. And I'm going to be on the roof here as Thatcher. And basically, I like to run IQ. So if IQ's not banned, 100% we're going to run the IQ all of the time. IQ through the walls now, she can ping, it's even better. She's going to ping exactly where the Wamais are, right? Now, IQ could be on the roof, she could be anywhere, it doesn't give a fuck. And we're going to have a drone bottom white, obviously, so this guy on the south rappel doesn't get run out on. So IQ's going to ping where the Wamais or whatever needs to, or like the ADS, she's going to ping where it is, it's usually around here. I'm going to throw my Thatcher. And if we time this correctly, now that the Wamais and the ADSs are burned, the guy that's on this window with a nade, or it's a Capitao. If Capitao's not banned, it's even better. Capitao would fire right here. He would fire in the bathroom, and then they'd have to move back, and we take. Or you nade it, you get rid of the shield at least. If the bitch corner guy doesn't have a shield, this guy can rappel in if there's smoke on the holes here, because the guy bitch corner can't swing. If the guy bitch corner can't swing because the guy's on the window here, then this guy can rappel in safely if there's no holes. So that would be if this wall is reinforced. Obviously, if this wall is reinforced, you got to take it a little differently. But then we're playing into a really weird setup, and honestly, at that point, if they're playing roamers below for C4, and they're playing a guy here and a guy here, I'll probably just do a cocktail take. Anyways, so now you guys know how to use Thatcher on the roof. Your IQ would ping the gadgets. Let's say there's a guy playing in CS. He's got a fucking castle barricade and some mutes and whatever, and we can't drone this guy. We don't need to drone this guy, because if IQ shows that there's a mute playing here with an ADS, then we know there's a guy playing here. And all we got to do is Thatcher on the roof, get rid of anything we have to, flash his ass a bunch of times, drop, kill him, get the cut off if we can on this window so he can't run away. Basically, in the beginning of a round on Cafe, you should always have a guy rappel on this window. And the guy on this window's job is, first of all, not to die. So obviously a zombie's banned here, because or else a zombie's going to have this whole room set up. So the guy in this window is going to shoot open this window. At the same time as he's shooting it, he'll shoot this one through it. And then he's going to go here, and he's going to shoot open this one over here. So now all three windows are open, and you have ghost pressure. And at the same time, if there's a castle barricade here, this guy's going to have like a Gone 6 or anything. And IQ's going to tell me if there's any Wamais for it. I'm going to get rid of it. He's going to Gone 6 the castle. And now this guy's got the cutoff. The guy CS cannot run away. Always better if you're upside down repelled. Shoot their feet. This guy literally cannot see you. You can see him. You guys get the gist. So that's usually how you take it, but you need key info for this. How do you bypass that if you have bad droners? You play IQ. IQ is such a huge factor in comp, because it shows you exactly what the setup is without having to get all those drones in there, especially if these guys are playing. I mean, Mozzie's sort of not play as much anymore, but like if they're playing a bunch of mutes, you know, it can be sort of tedious to drone, and then you get your drone shot, and then that gives you less info in the late round. So if you want to use less drones on the early round and use them more like I do as cutoffs, then you play the IQ to find out what their setup is. Let's say they have a crazy setup. You guys don't want to push this, then you can do a cocktail take. And that there's some strats for that too. You know, there's a lot of stuff we can do. T3, especially, you can capitalize on teams, on defenses. You can capitalize on their mistakes so much. I hate IGLs who will try and call a strat without all the info they need, which granted, it might not be their fault because they have bad droners, but they need to figure out that that's the problem. They need to figure out that they're trying to call a take with minimal info. You need more info. That's like the key thing. You need drones with info. So like if you're playing in my system, we will have dry ran attacks where we know where people's drones are going. We know where their drones are going. Because if I know that there's no one below, no one running out, if I know what kind of setup they have in piano, then I can figure out what we're doing. If I know that they're playing bubbles on site, then I know that late round for the plant, I'm Thatcher on the roof. I'm going to have to, if there's a bubble here and a bubble here or something, or if there's a guy playing Shaiko, I'm going to have to Thatcher the roof here so his ADSs get gone. We can nade him and flash him once, or fire him and then drop, you know what I mean? And we obviously have to have a drone pillar so we know we're not getting C4'd. And in comp, even in ranked, honestly, like this is always going to be broken. This is always going to be broken. So once you get to that late round, you don't want to be planting here. And you don't want to be planting here. Even with smokes. I'm a big smoke player. I love when teams have smokes. Even with smokes, you don't want to plant here because if there's so much as a fucking BP, like here or something, they will ping you through the smoke. And whoever's playing C3, if he hasn't died yet, which he shouldn't if he's not trolling, will literally just through the smoke, kill you, and then that's round over. So what you really want to work for here, if you're doing a piano CS side take, is make sure that you have bodies enough to send a guy below to kill the C4 guy, or at least have a drone to know where he is, and you're actually going to want to work the trash wall. Why is this called the trash wall? I forget. Oh yeah, trash. So this is trash plant. You want to plant right here, motherfuckers. This is your golden spot. Even without smokes, if you guys have piano control and CS control and a guy on the skylight, you can plant right here. So your only stress would be the C4 guy. So really what you want to do is not push into here and not especially push into here to plant late round. What you're really working for, if you're doing piano side, your end game should look something like planting trash wall. Now, there's probably going to be this wall open, or maybe not even. Usually there's a guy late round. Your job on defense, one of the guys, is to play deep freezer here because it's really hard to clear someone here, and his job will literally be to stop this from happening late round. So he's going to get active. Now that's why you want to maybe have this open, have a guy cutting it, have a guy playing there, holding the angle. This guy's job is going to be to kill the planter. But if you're tucked like this, you can't die. So as long as you make it through, let's say we open this wall. Usually, in my experience, I've had the luck. I mean, I should probably play someone with breaches. I've had the luck of being able to go straight through and planting here without getting killed. So that's what your end game should look like. Obviously, you don't need a guy here. You can have a guy here. You can have a guy white hall holding the flank because you don't want to get peeked from bathroom. If you have no guy holding white hall, what's going to happen on the late round is this guy's going to walk up bathroom and kill you. So you have a guy pixel here. Maybe you have a drone, maybe you don't. He plays off the audio cue and he kills the guy that's doing that. You have one planter. So usually you want to have 3 people up for the end game here. If you have 2, then you want to be only playing against 2 people. And obviously end games are different situations every time. You can't really plan for it. You just got to know how to play an FPS. As for the clear though, like if Thatcher's on the board, teams love to ban Thatcher. If they ban Thatcher, that's okay. There's other ways to clear. Then you just have to run the specific amount of stuns, or you play Zofia and you get the burn you need. But what teams don't do is they'll just try and force stuff when really you gotta clear. You guys remember that 2020 meta where people would play fucking Jaeger and Wamai together, and that shit was so strong and you had to bring like 35 flashes, bro? It's kind of the same nowadays. People overlook how important it is to take map control like that. Like, you play the IQ, you find out what kind of setup there are, you burn it, now you have piano. All you gotta do is that. What you do is you put someone on this window. So let's say their play is bitch corner and a bathroom guy with a rotate. That's real easy. Thatcher on the roof. Thatcher's, Capitão's on this window. Fire bathroom. Fire the white. Whoever's on my window over there nades this guy. This guy dies to the nade because if the nade's here, he can't throw it back. Obviously, we're not in year 1. He either has to run here away from it, where he dies. He runs into the fire, where he either dies or dies. He runs into bathroom, where he dies. The guy in bathroom runs into site, which gives us piano control. Now, if everything is done coordinated, you can get piano control within a minute and a half easily. And then that leaves you ample time to work on this, get your drone set up below for the C4 guy. And if you do it right and don't lose anybody, because you're on Windows, you shouldn't lose anybody. If you lose someone to a run out, that's because your drone is not on cams. If you lose somebody, it's because you lost a gunfight here where you were overexposing, because really this guy in window should be like this the whole time. You shouldn't even be peeking. Even when he goes to throw the nade, like sometimes a guy will throw a nade and I'll kill him when he's throwing the nade because you can wallbang this. You just got to be careful, bro. Like, if you're on this window, don't die, bro. Throw that like you're supposed to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're good with projectiles, you can get it every time. I say that and I just missed it. Whatever. So that's the gist of it. That's the gist of this. You really want to open this trash wall. Now, obviously, if they have holes, maybe you can work smokes. If they have holes here, working the trash wall is going to be very, very difficult. So you're going to try and work a deep plant. How do you do a deep plant? That's easy. You're going to push in through this door. Now what you need is a guy in skylight and a guy here. The guy here is probably going to get peeked from heaven a bunch, so he's got to get to this position. Once you're in this position, you're deep in enemy territory. You can get peeked from here. You can get wide swung. You can get fucking pushed up inner bar. So it's good to have a guy in skylight. If you have a guy in skylight, all this is shut down. You can try and plant here. But really, if you can't plant trash late round, you guys should try and push deep and get a pick here. Or like, one of you plants default while the other guy pushes in. Like this, to kill the guy. That's when you need to get aggro. That's usually how top 4 plays out. And let's look at the cocktail side take. So now that's like a default piano take if Thatcher's up. Cocktail take, it's actually really simple. So teams will allot to piano. Let's say you attacked it once this map already, you lost it, these guys are really good, you guys are not getting what you need. You're going to send a guy early round, bottom white. This guy's already going to have a drone in here. He's going to have a drone prepped in VIP for his flank. He's going to have me live droning him up. And what he's going to do is he's going to walk up white here if he can, unless, you know, some people like to play here or like to run around the main floor. So he takes as much pressure as he can. So if you can only get to here, then that's okay. What your job is now is to occupy the space the whole round, because in Siege or like in any FPS, if you occupy a position, the enemy can't occupy the position. That's the main takeaway from this. You know what I mean? It's like you might feel like you're doing nothing the whole round, but really you're occupying a space. So your job is to post it up here. You can even play the IQ. Like IQ can help us from here and figure out, okay, what kind of ADSs do they have? Because really what the ultimate goal is for this attack, is to have a drone pillar so you don't get run out on, or have a gridlock or whatever you need. Gridlock is good too for smokes. The ultimate goal for this attack is the guy in this window, Ying, if Ying's not banned, or a guy with flashes or stuns like Zofia, is going to discombobulate the guy playing stacks. So there's always going to be a guy here. There's always a dude playing here. This is like common positioning. He plays here. He does whatever he needs to do. So you're going to have a guy on white window, making sure that these two motherfuckers cannot push up white hall. You're going to have a guy, and this guy should have smokes. Smokes or anything that can block this door off for the execute. This guy, maybe even two people. You can have two people on this window. This guy, and then you want a guy on the skylight. Skylight is obviously to cut off anyone coming back through the site, coming through freezer to peek here. So you want to have a guy on skylight, a guy or two on these windows, a guy bottom white, probably two guys bottom white ready to walk up if you can, and then a guy in this window. And then your execute looks something like this. You cut off this line of sight. This guy's getting flashed. As that's happening, the white guys are walking up and taking this. This is smoked, obviously. These guys are walking up and taking it. This guy's cutting off. This guy's cutting off. Usually, this guy will not have bomb. One of the white guys will have bomb. Or this guy will have bomb and repel in, but it's good if he stays there and holds. Now, what you got to worry about on a cocktail is the piano guys will drop. One of them might have a C4. There might already be a C4 below. Solus could be on the board. If you banned a zombie, Solus could be on the board. So they're going to have a guy below. That's not the worst thing in the world. There are things you can do. Like this hatch will be open. So if you have the bodies for it, you send a guy to drop below. Bam. Or, even better, one of your white guys, once he's up here and your guy's in sight, the white guy runs back down, and now you're here. If they caught on that you guys are doing a cocktail, one of the defense guys will probably be in here waiting to hear you guys walk up white, and then he will swing you. It's something to be wary about. These guys below will not just let you walk up white because they know you're doing cocktail. But if everything's executed correctly, and usually you do this if it's heavy piano presence because you know the backside take shall be free, you can even run vert here, but you don't need vert, so the vert will be to discombobulate this guy. But really, you should be able to either flash this guy from this window, if one guy repels in and two guys are pushing up here, you should kill him like this gunfight. If one of you dies to this guy, the next guy should trade him, or at least we're pushing deep enough. At least we're pushing into here. You know what I mean? If you can't kill this guy, push deep into freezer. You know what I mean? Take sight, take deep sight, kill these guys on the rotate. Obviously they can't be here because you got a skylight guy. Kill the bathroom guys. You know what I mean? And then worry about this guy after. That comes on execute though. That's different every round. Every round shit changes. You can't really plan for an end game. But that's usually what top floor looks like. You got the piano clear default. You got the cocktail clear. Cocktail clear is a lot of burning and flashing. Piano clear is a lot of figuring out what the keyhole looks like so you can have a key that fits it. If they got nothing here and you can take piano for free and work trash wall, then you do that. If they got a guy CS, then you can work that. There's different ways to work it with Thatcher from the roof. IQ, pivotal point. If you don't have IQ, then get your drone work on point. There's just a million ways to do it. You know, Siege is a game where you can do a million things and everything can work. It's just about having the right key info. There are things you need to know. Is there a guy below? Is this wall reinforced? How many Wamais are here? ADSs. Who's playing in bathroom? Do we have our cutoffs ready? You guys need to talk to each other on attack. Like, yo, white window, you ready? Nades, are you ready? IQ, ping it. Get your Thatcher on the roof. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Nade. Fire. Take in. Hold. He's not running away. You jump in. Kill this guy. Watch for the swing. Obviously, you probably have a guy on skylight. Red hatch is open. Watching flank. I'm flipping drones on roof. This whole time, if you're Thatcher, you're on the roof. If you die as Thatcher here, you're trolling. That is cocktail attack. I'm going to switch match. Or, yeah, I'm going to restart the match. We are going to do bottom floor. The 2 main sites. That's all I'm going to do right now. And then we're playing ranked. We're doing top floor and bottom floor. And I'll do reading too. Did I say online? Aha, create local. I'm not a noob at this anymore. Alright. Bottom floor. I'll start it on defense. I can explain to you guys the attack, but I'll start it on defense. That way I can make the rotates and shit. So if I'm IGLing, it is absolutely imperative that we have our drones. I want to be... You have 5 people on your team. And each screen paints a different perspective of the whole picture. If not everyone is relaying the key info that they're seeing, then the keyhole's image in my head is not going to be complete. And the strat I'm going to call is going to have faults in it. Maybe. You know what I mean? Because I can't see the whole image. So how am I supposed to call something that fits the whole image if I can't see it? I'm going to be guessing in some ways. And that's leaving it up to chance, which works very often in T3 because teams are bad, but it won't work against disciplined players. So it's very important in my system that everyone is calling out the key info. Now, obviously, we'll have dry random maps, so everyone knows when I say key info, they know what I'm talking about. If we're pushing downstairs, they know what the key info is going to be. So I'm going to be asking... the backside player, what do you see? I'm going to be asking these players, what do you see? And they're going to relay this information, whether it be through drones, whether it be through seeing what's up, getting peeked or anything, or dying. They're going to tell me, this is what's up. And then I'm going to say, this is what's up. Here's how we push it. So let's say they're doing a bakery hold. Usually it'll look something like this. Obviously you can ban castle if you're a pussy, but we don't ban castle. Who the fuck bans castle? Ban a zombie on this map. Ban a zombie, ban soulless. Alright. I gotta sneeze. Alright. That's reinforced. This shit's closed. You're gonna have like a mute. Oh, what the fuck? You're gonna have like a mute jammer here. You're gonna usually have a shield with an ADS or some Wamais around. Rotate here. This is reinforced. If mirror's up, there'll probably be a mirror on it. This is usually what it looks like. And you'll have a guy playing here. You'll have this reinforced with footholes probably. Or just sometimes fully reinforced and muted off. So you have a guy playing here. You have a guy playing here. And it's really hard to take this if you don't have Capitao. Because you would have to... Well, actually, it's really easy to take it. It's hard to take it with bad teams because bad teams will not get the info required on the equipment these guys are using. So if I have IQ and I know there's 2 ADSs and I know there's 3 Wamais, that's easy. I send a Thatcher. I can't repel. Okay. So this is if Thatcher's on the board. Thatcher really is a godsend when it comes to clearing stuff, and people don't ban Thatcher like they used to. So you really just play Thatcher, and you throw your Thatcher right here. And that'll get rid of the ADSs. Then you burn the Wamais you have to. So you have your Zofia, stun, boom, boom. And then you have a nade guy, do bonk. Or you Thatcher this, get the mute off, open this wall. If you open this wall, you can instantly flash room in there. And anyways, it's easy to clear these guys if you have the info on the equipment they're using. You just got to make sure you don't get pushed up here. And then these guys will run back through their shit here. So Capitao and Thatcher combination is a godsend. Capitao gets banned though, so you got to be able to play nades. Now, pushing into this is easy if done correctly, but really what you want to do and what you want to learn to do as an IGL is not play into the defense. You don't need strats if you're able to spot the openings, and there will be openings. Teams are often not able to spot the openings because why? Lackluster drone work. They're not utilizing the IQ. People are not relaying what they see on their screen. If we paint the full image of the defense, we will easily be able to spot the opening. Now, if they're doing full bakery and they got no one chilling backside, people will often have like, if they're doing full bakery, they probably won't, but people will have like a shield here and a guy holding this, but that is literally not a big deal. If they're doing full bakery, you just push backside. Push backside, have your drone set up on top, make sure this guy's not pushing you down white. You could just have a guy in a white window early, have a guy in this window. You guys are working hatch, so if there's no one above and they're doing full bakery, your call should instantly be as an IGL, we're pushing above. So you get control, make sure all your flanks are off, you start working vert, you start working the hatch. Meanwhile, you have your Thatcher and your whoever, or not even your Thatcher, it could be a Maverick. You can Mav trick this pretty easily if you have a guy VIP. So if it's bakery and they have this castle loft, no one's going to be here. And you just have a guy prone here, and then you have your Mav open the wall. Now the wall is soft, Buck opens it. Now you have your way in, you have the hatch, you have time to play vert, and their whole defense did nothing to waste your time because the whole defense was front side. How do we know that? Because early round, before I even called the push, okay, I was playing at a scrim the other day, and the IGL called a bakery take. When it was full bakery, there was no one roaming above and no one backside. When it's really like, why are we playing into the defense? Their defense does nothing for them unless they're flanking, but we have that unlocked. We Mav this wall. Attack or repick. You can literally find out in the prep phase if there's going to be a guy playing here. Like, there is attack or repick. Teams are scared to play Mav. Play the Mav. If Thatcher's not on the board, play the Mav. If Thatcher's on the board, he can trick it, but he can't trick it if we have vert. You know what I mean? If there's no one playing above and they're doing full bake, you're doing a backside take. I love the backside take. I love it. If they're doing backside holes, you take bake. And then the bake clear is just as easy as finding out what the setup is and clearing correctly. You know what I mean? You take backside. Once you have this wall open, let's open it. Let's say Mav, Buck did their shit. Let's say there's a minute left. You want to have enough drones to get some info on site. So obviously, at this point, it's end game. You're close on site. Maybe there's 2 picks. You don't need your cutoff drones, so whoever's got them is going to run them downstairs, droning, and you're going to drone into site. Now, if Capitao's on the board, that's a godsend. What you can do with Capitao is you can, I think if you smoke there, it creates like a halfway one way. The smoke will make it to about here, which is just good enough for homies to fire this and walk in, and you shouldn't get bothered. Like, you can peek around, you can play on the hatch, you can fire if there's a dude playing close, you can fire here. If Capitao's not on the board, it's a little more fucked. You just want to make sure you're watching this rotate here. You're gonna have a guy all the way up on it like this, all the way up, playing the angles, and you guys are just gonna push into bunker. Here's a little tidbit for free kills, guys. Buck is always gonna open this angle, usually. If this is just a defense tip. Buck loves to open this. So this is what it looks like if you're Buck. Let me show you guys. This is a free kill if you're on defense. Buck is always gonna open this angle. So this angle is really good. If you break the floor and then break that wall, and you get back here, you can see behind bunker. Am I trolling? No, I'm not trolling. Look, you can see behind bunker here. So Buck is going to do boom, 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 boom. It's going to be 4 shots usually. And if you're on defense, literally this is a free kill. This is every single round I play against a Buck that's dog shit. I literally get a free kill here. If you're on defense, and you literally just... Why can't I go through this? Let me through. If you're on defense, bro, and you hear the Buck above and you literally just walk over here, you're going to get a free kill every time. Literally, I'm over here, I'm chilling in freezer, I'm on cams. Get off cams, I hear Buck, and I literally just come do this. And I always get a free kill. So, that's a default front take, a back take based on key info. Obviously, if there's one above, you might be a little more iffy to do this. If you think you can control them, then you can control them. If there's two above and they're doing a roam, then you can hit bakery pretty easily. And they're going to be playing the vert, so what do? You send a guy above. You send a guy above to contest him when you're going to execute prep. But it shouldn't bother you. As long as you have this wall open, you can hold the long angle for the prep push-up. Whilst you guys work the wall, wall is open, then you rotate a guy above, contest the vert guys. Simple. If you can't get the wall open, why can't you get the wall open? You gotta reevaluate. You guys should be playing Maverick. Maverick, if he's banned, you should be playing Thatcher. If they're tricking it, then you send a whole vert clear. But if they're tricking it, then you should probably just do a back take. It's easy to do a back take. You take white minimal. If they have a shield guy here, you put a guy in the VIP window. You IQ him, or you drone him. You see what you need to burn, or you just Thatcher him. Throw a fucking Thatcher here. You Thatcher it, you break the shield, you push him, you have a guy jump in VIP. If he's getting peeked from Whiskey, then the VIP guy here just holds the angle. Your job on this window is literally to make sure this guy doesn't run away, so you're just playing like this. That's all you're doing. If this guy can't run away, you funnel on him. A guy might peek you from Whiskey, he dies from window. A guy might come down white. He dies from the flank watch. Two guys push this guy. Boom. Boom. You trade him. If it's a shotgun, you got to be a little wary. Maybe Zofia stun him. It's really simple. You just got to make sure you're getting the info you need. There's always an adaptation. There's always a hole. There's always a weak spot. You never want to push the strong spot. You got to think like G2. G2 used to do this. Pretty sure they still do this. It's not about having strats. It's not about forcing stuff that doesn't work. It's about getting the key info you need with good drone work and good communication, and then finding the opening that you need to win the round with the least hassle possible. Why try and force something and play into how the defense wants you to play when you can pick apart something they won't want? It'll feel like they can't breathe. If you're doing this correctly, the defense will always feel like they're getting unlucky. It will be crazy. Like if you're on defense and they're not playing into what you're doing, it's gonna always feel like a clusterfuck, and it's gonna come down to gunfights. And because you were prepped on it during the whole prep phase, you're gonna be in an advantage in those gunfights because the defense doesn't know what's coming. You know what I mean? That's the gist of it. I had the wrong title on the stream, but that's downstairs. That's top floor. I'll do a part 2 to this because it's already really long. We've been live for like 42 minutes. There you go. Cafe. Attacking. And just attacking in general. You want to have info. You want to be able to call adaptations. You don't want to play into the defense. That's how it looks. Let's play some ranked.